Peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nation, of the land, and of all creation. Hope everybody doing well. Hope you blessed, in a positive mood, and spreading that positive effect on everyone that you come in contact with. Family, I know that everybody's happy. I know that everybody's jumping for joy. But I know that the real people and the thinkers are not going for this shit. And I'm talking about the stimulus package that's been approved for the American people that's being impacted by the coronavirus today. Now, I must say to you, family, and I must say this so clearly, this is a way for them to implement martial law. See, what they're not telling you is that they bring a military in on your home front in order to control you and be able to implement a law that destroys your complete civil rights. What they're not telling you is that you're going to be just a number that you already been to them since you received your social security number. That you are nothing but a number and that you are nothing but casualty and collateral damage that's only worth a certain amount of monetary. What I'm telling you is that they're doing this right now and getting your mind all filled up with happiness, thinking that the little bit of money that they're going to give you and your family is going to sustain you through this entire ordeal, while not telling you that they're bringing military on your home front in order to enslave you. See, the thing that the devil will do to you will give you the things that you want while at the same time taking your soul. And this is in no form to promote the Bible. As you know, and if you watch my channel, I am not a promoter of the Bible, nor do I believe in the Bible. But I do use certain things of the Bible in order to get my point across to those who may be Christians. And I want you to understand that the elite is using the Bible at this current time in order to be able to enslave you, and that in your future you will be a victim of the Project Blue Beam, where the person that you call the Antichrist is going to come and they're going to cause the mass effect on the world, and they're going to Project Blue Beam you and state that a second coming of Jesus have came and that he's going to catch everybody up, while all the time they're going to be implementing martial law. They are here to control you. The Georgia guidelines state, if you look up in my past videos, in my last three videos, might I add, you'll see that the Georgia guidelines states that it only wants 500 million people that's on this earth today. That's 98% of the population that's on the earth today being eradicated for an ideology that a few rich men want for only themselves and the people that they feel will follow behind their agenda. You got to understand that the United Nations is behind all of this. The coronavirus wasn't something that would just pop out of nowhere. That thing was placed inside of China to eradicate China, to control the population growth in China. But it happened to affect where it caused a mass effect on the world. That's why we are going through what we're going through today. You see the things that they target in certain countries. You see in the European and the Americas, you know they target the countries with what? Mass shootings. Make it a police state. You see what happens in third world countries such as Africa. What did they populate it with? They populated it with HIV and Ebola to try to lower the population growth. They did the same thing with China with the coronavirus. They put the coronavirus inside of the system so the people can adjust it, and then it could knock off all the old people, because what in the last video that I just give you guys, I told you guys that they want the young people in order to be able to flourish, and they feel that the older population is overpopulation and is hurting the environment. So don't think that just because you about to get this little stimulus package check that you're going to get in the mail or on your digital card, that is going to eradicate the truth. And the truth is that you are a slave and you are under the thumb of the United Nations, and pretty soon you will be eradicated, because they consider us a disease and they consider us a hazard to the environment, and they have to eradicate the disease. Because that's what you do with diseases. You eradicate them from the cell. They feel that the earth is the cell of the universe, and that the population on earth is ruining that cell. And there are not enough natural resources for the people who they feel are deemed worthy enough to receive that blessing. When in all actuality, we come from this earth and we are a part of this earth, and everything on this earth belongs to us. Every natural resource on this earth belongs to us. It is not for monetary gains. It is not. Everything on this earth is for free, family. And I just wanted you guys to know that, because I don't want people to sit up here and get all happy-go-lucky about this stimulus package. Am I telling you to not accept the stimulus package? Sure, get that cash from the government. They owe it to you. But don't look at that as a means for you to feel that you must follow behind the government. If there was a president that I would nominate right now, it'd be Nancy Pelosi, because she seems to be more about the people than our own president. Our own president is using the monetary gains in order to fund and buy people. He's buying his next presidency. He's using a massive effect in order to keep him in office, because he knows that a deep rooted of the man's heart is monetary gains. And if a man can get monetary gains, he's liable to do whatever he can to get it. And if that means keep you in office and accept the martial law that you have put in place, then he would do it. So they do it with what? Money? They do it with what? Fear? Because if you got mass shootings and you got all these diseases out and you have the government that's going to handle it for you, why wouldn't you run and be up under the thumb of the government? I tell you this, family, because I love you. And I don't want you to be too confused. You got to understand, Donald Trump is all in the cycle of everything that's going on right now. If you look at the date of when Donald Trump was born, he was born in 1946. What happened that is so important about 1946? The League of Nations ended. Who was the League of Nations? The League of Nations is the forefathers of what? The United Nations. The United Nations was formed in 1948, but really, what they not telling you, it was formed in 1946, the year that Trump was born. Where was it formed at? It was formed in Boston. Where did they hold the meeting at? They held the meeting in Boston, and they also held a meeting in San Francisco. Where did they move their headquarters to? They moved their headquarters to New York and Manhattan. Who funded their headquarters? It was J.D. Rockefeller who funded their headquarters, a well-known billionaire who at that point in time was in cahoots with who? Nobody other than Donald Trump's father. You got to understand, the powers that rule the beat are the rich and the powerful, the men who control land. If you got control of land, then you have the power, because you could tax the people who are on your land. So what did the rich do back in the days? They bought up the land. So once they controlled the land, you had to rent that land from them because you got to think about it. In order to make money, you have to have land that you can make the money on. And if another man owns that land, what is the quickest way for you to get the monetary gains that you want at that point in time? You will pay that man who owned that land off. You will give him, let's say, rent. You get what I'm saying? So that's what happened. The rich had the land. The United Nations had the agenda, and they needed the funding to get their point across in order to get us to what we have now. In the course of them getting funded, what did they have to do? They had to adopt the agenda of those who gave them the funding. Who was the main people that gave the United Nations funding? Lucius Truss, a well-known Luciferian follower, Alice Bailey, J.D. Rockefeller, a well-known billionaire who had his hands in World War I and II. You get what I'm saying? But I just want you guys to understand that what they're doing right now is they're basically feeding you money so they can keep you blind, family. I just had somebody comment up on one of my pages that all the guns have been dispersed. There's no more ammo in none of these states. Think about it. They're prepared to implement martial law, and they're preparing by taking your ammunition from you so you can't be able to fight back. I have been warning you, family, for months now, actually for 3 years now, more than 3 years since I came on YouTube. You could check my videos during the timeline of the time that Trump came into office. What I told you guys was going to happen, that they were going to implement martial law, because that's why he started the war. Because what did the war do? It creates fear, and once you have fear, you could bring the government and you could make a police state. So that's why they had the mass attacks. That's why they got the disease, to create fear and to give you money to blindside you. Because once you wake up after celebrating and buying all of your shit, what you gonna have to do? You're gonna have the military right in your face telling you what to do. So until next time, family, I will be bringing this in paper form to you. I will be putting up slides for you. I'm going to show you deep down into the history of the United Nations and what it was created to do. The year that Trump was born, the United Nations was created. Population growth was created. Billionaires putting their ideologies in other people's ears were created, family. Until then, man, I love y'all, man. Thanks for all the subscribers, man. Let's try to reach up to 1,000 subscribers, man. Let's get at least 1,000 subscribers. So if you watching this video, man, and you like my videos, man, shoot it to somebody that you know. Put it inside of their minds, because I'm not telling people something to poison your minds. I'm telling you things to help your minds and to keep you more aware of the things that's going to happen, because we are just in the beginning, family. And I'm going to search day in and day out for information that I could bring to you guys in order to get you ahead of the game that they are about to play. Because that's the only way you could beat the game, is if you know the game. You get what I'm saying? Until then, man, peace to the gods and the goddesses of the nation, of the land, of all creation. Everybody be blessed and have a productive week.